Rosie O'Donnell sends message to Trump, FCC before TV return. Rosie O'Donnell is set to make her return to television. In the meantime, some are wondering about what she'll say and the reactions she's going to spark. Recently, however, O'Donnell weighed in on this, issuing a message to President Donald Trump and the FCC. In particular, she also shared something that she wasn't allowed to share on the show. Rosie O'Donnell will make her return to U.S. television the week of August 17, 2026. O'Donnell is a comedian and television personality who has hosted a number of shows throughout her career. From 1996 to 2002, she hosted her namesake talk show, The Rosie O'Donnell Show. Following this, O'Donnell briefly served as a co-host on The View. Originally appearing from 2006 to 2007, she briefly returned from 2014 to 2015. During this time, she was known for her feud with Donald Trump, long before he would become the President of the United States. Back in early 2025, O'Donnell relocated to Ireland, though she has returned to the United States for a few visits. Recently, it was announced that she would come to Los Angeles to guest host for Jimmy Kimmel on Jimmy Kimmel Live during the week of August 17, 2026. As fans know, Kimmel's show previously came under fire last September after comments were made concerning the late Charlie Kirk, causing the show to be briefly pulled from the air. Thanks to this, there is some concern over what could happen during O'Donnell's upcoming run concerning her own history with political comments. O'Donnell revealed that she wasn't allowed to sing a Wizard of Oz parody, but shared what she would perform instead. Despite this, O'Donnell recently warned that she wouldn't hold back during her time on the show. During a recent episode of the On with Kara Swisher podcast, O'Donnell told President Trump, "I know you're watching." When asked about the FCC, as its chairman, Brendan Carr, she responded, "What are they gonna say that you can't say that? I don't listen to them. I don't pay any heed to them." That said, O'Donnell revealed that there was something she had planned that ABC forbade her from doing. At one point, she planned to. An anti-Trump version of If I Only Had a Brain from The Wizard of Oz. Reportedly, the ABC suits told her that they couldn't get permission for the parody because it's political content. O'Donnell was upset about this, since she would perform the song on her original 1990s talk show. However, being on a podcast, O'Donnell thought that she was free to share the song. Singing a few verses, she shared, "His approval rate is 30, his diaper's always dirty, I think the guy's insane. He ain't no stable genius, got a teeny, tiny penis, and he doesn't have a brain." O'Donnell followed this up with another parody she plans to perform instead, which is a parody of Hello, Dolly. As she teased, "Hello, Donnie. I know you're watching, Donnie. It's me, Rosie, showing up on ABC. You've got a crush, Donnie. It's too much. I hear you're leaving Melania for me." What is your reaction to Rosie O'Donnell's recent share? Have you been following this story? Make sure you come back to TV Shows Ace for all the latest TV and celebrity news. Rosie O'Donnell sends message to Trump, FCC before TV return. Rosie O'Donnell may be preparing to step back into the television spotlight, but if her latest comments are any indication, she is not planning to return quietly. The longtime comedian, actress, talk show host, and outspoken political commentator has once again found herself at the center of a media conversation involving television, free speech, and politics. As speculation continues to swirl around a possible return to daytime or broadcast television, O'Donnell has made it clear that she still has plenty to say, and she is not afraid to say it. Her latest message appears to be aimed not only at former President Donald Trump, but also at the Federal Communications Commission, commonly known as the FCC. That combination has immediately caught the attention of fans who remember just how influential O'Donnell became during her years on daytime television. Rosie O'Donnell's possible TV comeback. For viewers who grew up watching daytime television in the late 1990s and early 2000s, Rosie O'Donnell is a familiar face. Her talk show became one of the most recognizable programs of its era, mixing celebrity interviews, comedy, audience interaction, personal stories, and Rosie's unmistakable personality. She developed a reputation for being outspoken and willing to address subjects that other daytime hosts sometimes avoided. Now, years after stepping away from her most famous daytime role, the possibility of another television chapter has fans talking. A comeback could take several forms. It could involve a traditional talk show, a guest hosting role, a streaming project, a limited television appearance, or another format that gives O'Donnell a platform to communicate directly with audiences. Whatever the format ultimately becomes, one thing seems certain. O'Donnell understands that television has changed dramatically since her original talk show days. Streaming platforms, podcasts, social media, digital creators, and political commentary have all transformed the entertainment landscape. A modern Rosie O'Donnell return would therefore look very different from the one audiences remember. Why Trump is part of the conversation. O'Donnell and Donald Trump have a long and well-documented history of public clashes. Their disagreements have played out across television, interviews, social media, and political commentary for years. Because of that history, virtually any political statement from O'Donnell can quickly become part of the larger Trump-related media conversation. Her willingness to criticize Trump has also made her a polarizing figure among viewers. Some fans appreciate her directness, while others believe celebrities should stay away from political debates. That division could become particularly significant if O'Donnell returns to television. A daytime program featuring Rosie would almost certainly attract viewers who want her political opinions, while others might prefer to see her focus on entertainment, comedy, celebrity interviews, and everyday topics. That creates an interesting question. What kind of Rosie O'Donnell would television audiences see in 2026? The FCC angle raises questions. The reference to the FCC adds another layer to the story. The Federal Communications Commission plays an important role in regulating communications in the United States, including broadcast television and radio. However, it is important to distinguish between FCC oversight and the idea that the agency simply controls what individual television personalities are allowed to say. That distinction matters whenever political figures, broadcasters, and entertainers become involved in public disputes over television content. O'Donnell's message has therefore sparked discussion about the boundaries between political pressure, broadcast regulation, editorial decisions, and free expression. For a personality with such a long history in television, those questions are especially relevant. A potential comeback could put O'Donnell in a position where her political opinions once again become part of the public conversation surrounding her work. Fans remember the original Rosie. The nostalgia surrounding O'Donnell's possible return is impossible to ignore. Her original talk show was famous for its energetic atmosphere. Rosie connected with audiences through humor, emotional conversations, celebrity appearances, games, and spontaneous moments. She was also known for creating a sense that viewers were watching someone who wasn't afraid to be herself. That authenticity helped make her successful. But today's television audience is different. Viewers are more accustomed to personalities speaking directly through social media. Celebrities can bypass traditional networks entirely. A person with a strong following can launch a podcast, live stream, newsletter, or digital series without needing a traditional television studio. If Rosie returns, she could potentially combine the old-school talk show experience with the immediacy of modern digital media. Could Rosie bring politics back to daytime? That may be one of the biggest questions surrounding a potential return. Political discussion has become increasingly common across entertainment programming. Celebrities regularly comment on elections, government decisions, cultural debates, and public officials. O'Donnell has never been particularly shy about political subjects, so it would be surprising if politics completely disappeared from her public persona. At the same time, a television network would have to consider its audience and programming strategy. A show that becomes heavily political could attract passionate viewers, but also alienate people looking for lighter entertainment. That balancing act could determine whether a Rosie comeback becomes a nostalgic success or something much more controversial. A message that got people talking. Regardless of what happens next, O'Donnell's latest comments demonstrate something important. She still knows how to generate attention. In an era when television personalities compete with influencers, podcasters, streaming stars, and social media creators, getting people to talk about your return can be half the battle. And Rosie has plenty of experience doing exactly that. Her message to Trump and the FCC has added a political dimension to the conversation, but it has also reminded audiences that O'Donnell has never been the kind of entertainer who simply disappears. She has spent decades moving between comedy, acting, television, activism, and commentary. A return would therefore be less about starting from scratch and more about opening another chapter. What happens next? At this point, viewers should be cautious about treating speculation surrounding a television comeback as a finalized deal, unless an official network, production company, or O'Donnell herself confirms the details. Still, the excitement surrounding the possibility is understandable. Rosie O'Donnell remains a recognizable television personality with a loyal fan base and a history of creating major cultural conversations. If she does return to the small screen, there is little reason to believe the comeback would be ordinary. Her message involving Trump and the FCC has already created a wave of discussion, raising questions about what she might say, where she might appear, and how television executives would respond. One thing is clear: Rosie O'Donnell's name still carries weight. Whether her next chapter arrives through traditional daytime television, streaming, digital media, or another platform, audiences are paying attention. And if Rosie really is preparing for a television return, fans may soon discover that she has no intention of coming back quietly. The television comeback conversation has only just begun, and Rosie O'Donnell appears ready to make sure everyone hears what she has to say.